Hey guys, today begins a large project that I have decided to take on. I'm going to build The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess in Minecraft. I was inspired to do this from watching a YouTuber named Grazzy, linked in the description, who is taking on a project 12 times the size of mine, building the entirety of Breath of the Wild in Minecraft, so make sure to check him out. I also can't go without mentioning, I got my last push of inspiration for this project when Tobi, also linked in the description, started building his Majora's Mask map. This is gonna be my first video on Java Edition, so that's fun, I guess. Alright, let's get into it. I started off with building the two sides of the gate that leads into Ordon Ranch. At first, I made them one by one, then I changed them to two by two, but then I went back to one by one after my first attempt at building the fence. Note that I am building this based off of the Wii U and GameCube version of the game instead of the flipped Wii version. Then, I started actually building the fence. This took a while to make it look right. Eventually, though, I realized that in the game, the fence was made out of hay with thin logs on either side to keep it up. This made the whole thing start going much smoother. At first, I used spruce fence for both of the ends of the fence and the thin logs to hold it up, but ended up replacing the ones on the ends for mud brick walls, as the fences didn't look right there. Here's the part where I struggled for a while. You see, there are tiny orange flags attached to a string that ran over above the fence. First, I tried using iron trapdoors for the string, but the holes in them just made them not convincing enough. Then I tried using actual string. I tried to place acacia trapdoors for flags on it, but I realized the string was basically invisible. I figured out that I was going to use orange candles for the small flags hanging down, but there was still the issue of what to hang the flags from. I tried using chains, but the fact that they wouldn't connect due to the fence being diagonal was too detracting. I finally ended up settling on birch trapdoors. They don't look the best, but I couldn't find a better way to do it. I then got to work on building the goat barn. Luckily for me, white terracotta matches the wall near perfectly. I used it for the wall and oak logs for the accents on the walls. I repeated the wall section 4 times and added the hay bales on the second section and started on the thatch roof to the barn. When I came around to the front, I struggled figuring out what to do for the front windows, eventually settling on a single oak trapdoor. I then started working on the doors to the barn. The first time, I accidentally built them halfway closed instead of wide open. I think the top window came out a little better than the side ones. I then finished setting up the layout for the entire roof. I placed hay bales across the roof beam, then used world edit's // stack command to complete the first half of the roof. After finishing the first half of the roof, I started working on the back, unlike a certain incredible builder with 8 million subscribers. Next, I started on the interior of the barn. I used grass path, sorry, it's called dirt path now, to make the floor of the place. Also, if you're wondering why I'm only building the left half, at this point I remembered I can use World Edit to flip it because the barn is mostly symmetrical. Anyway, I got to work on the goat pens, using spruce trapdoors for the fronts and jungle trapdoors. Yes, you heard me. I actually used jungle trapdoors for the sides. I used mud brick walls for the barrels inside the barn. Now, it was finally time to copy, flip, and paste the first half of the barn. I messed this up a few times, as you can see here. / undo is my best friend. Eventually I got it into place, or so I thought. I made the whole thing a 2-block center instead of a 1-block center, but it still didn't look too bad, so when I did notice, I left it. I replaced both mud brick walls with oak logs as they looked closer to barrels. Next, I started working on the area to the right of the barn. There's a slanted awning off of it, but I couldn't get the slant right while also making the support that connects the awning. After that, I copied the fence section on the left of the barn and pasted it twice to finish the eastern wall. At first, I bone mealed a tree and removed some of the leaves for the tree next to the barn. But, at that moment, I realized that for a lot of this map, I'm going to have to build custom trees, which is something I have almost no experience with. It took me a second to get started, but I eventually got it done. I'm still a little unsatisfied with it, so I might come back after I get some more practice. Next, I came around to the other side of the gate to put in the 2 straight fences there. I then used / rotate for the angle on the diagonal ones. It was finally time to start working on the cliffs around the remaining 2 sides of the ranch. I used cyan concrete to build them at first, and then used / mask and / set to make them the blocks I wanted later. First bit of the cliff, pretty simple, straight line. The rest of it, I made a completely unplanned and erratic curve that somehow happened to come out pretty well. Next, I used / stack to raise the cliff face up, although I had to do this twice because the first time it wasn't tall enough. I then built up the taller cliff behind the short cliff in the northwest corner. After that, I began using / stack to make the cliffs thicker. I only ended up making the cliffs that physically exist in the game because it would have taken a very long time to build out all the farther out hills. I used / set to place a massive amount of moss in hopes that all the floating moss would automatically break. This was not the case, and I had to go around and clean up. This part was boring, so I sped it up both in 8 times replay mod and 4 times in my editor, for a total of 32 times speed. Now it was time to choose a palette for the cliffs. Once again, I sped up to 32 times speed. I'm probably going to go back and fix it between videos, because the more I looked at it, the worse it got. That's it for episode 1, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out Grazzy and Tobi, along with my Discord server, all 3 linked in the description. And don't worry, I will fix some things off camera, like the unfinished fences and how I accidentally changed the wood pile to stone.